Alright then, and welcome to episode 4 of Geekamania, guys. As always, I'm Ben, and this right here is my co-host.
Mark.
Bit of a funny pronunciation on your name there.
I know, I wanted to seem important.
Okay. Right, well, first on the agenda, as usual, we're going to go straight into wrestling. So, Raw. And actually, they're doing pretty well for a change. That was quite a good episode.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not as worried about the 3 hours as I was a couple of weeks ago.
If they can keep up this quality, then I am all for 3 hours of it. I mean, oh god, yeah. For one, there was a lot of AJ in this episode.
Yes.
Like, a really surprising amount. They really seem to be pushing this, well, her especially, in this whole new gimmick of her
being this strange psychopath who likes all three.
Yeah.
It shows you guys in wrestling, if you're a psychopath, you get over. In real life, you get sent to the insane asylum.
Yeah, everybody with a crazy gimmick seems to do really well.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Well, yeah, literally crazy. But yeah.
People like crazy.
The one thing that weirded me out about the whole thing, though,
What's that?
Is did you see the weird Twitter poll they had? Did you? No. I'll give you a quick rundown. Basically, on Twitter, they had this poll to see, like, who do you think AJ should go with? Kane, Punk, Bryan, or all three?
And all three won.
All three is one of the options.
That's hilarious.
Just like
they don't the option all three won then, yeah?
No, it came third.
Really?
It came like above Daniel Bryan.
That's hilarious.
But it's just like, wait, so people actually think that she should go into some weird foursome relationship? What? I mean,
well, you got...
honestly, I'm more surprised that the WWE even put that as an option. That's the thing that really...
maybe they're going more towards the PG, not the PG-13, maybe the TV-14 era?
No, this is... No matter who you're aiming this at, that whole situation is weird. Really weird.
And it's funny that, she's as prominent on Raw as maybe John Cena is, isn't she? It seems like those two are the top two people on Raw, AJ and John Cena.
She did hilarious. Get more screen time than John Spina. John Spina? Who on earth is John Spina? Speaking of John Spina...
maybe it's his Mexican cousin. I'm John Spina. And I'm John Spina. Okay. That's not Mexican, is it?
For a Mexican, he sounds awful Southern American.
Indeed.
But yeah, speaking of John Spina...
I'm John... No, can't do it.
No, I think you should just abandon this whole train of thought.
No, Mexican.
But yeah, John Cena had a really, really weird promo. It's where he tried to compare the whole John Laurinaitis storyline to Star Wars. Do you remember that?
I just skipped John Cena. He bores me, so I'm just like, yeah.
I'll give you a quick recap. Basically, John Laurinaitis is the evil emperor, and John Cena is Luke Skywalker. And he has to overcome the Death Star, which is a 15-foot steel cage, and beat Darth Big Show. Yeah. But in the middle of it, he does a really good Yoda impression.
Really?
Like, really, really spot on. It's like, comes out of nowhere.
He actually sounds like him as well.
Yeah, like, properly. And then...
Chain you up, I will. No, I can't do Vader. I'll just stop doing impressions.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then... No, just stop.
I am your father.
You've already said you're going to stop doing impressions. Stop doing more impressions.
I have to do that one.
But yeah, then Jericho makes his return.
I saw that.
And he makes this glorious comment where he just says, so while you're out here doing your stupid Star Wars program, and then makes the best dismissive face, just like of pure disgust, and like, ugh, what are you? And then like a short brief period onwards, Vicky comes out and does her usual excuse me spieling, and then Jericho just wryly goes, well, what are you gonna do? Suspend me? And it's just like, how he resisted the urge to wink after saying that, I have no idea. But it was...
I'm glad they turned him into a face as well now. It seems like they're turning him into a face now, which is good.
Yeah, he's sort of an in-between, because he's face, but at the same time, he's still being a massive dick to people.
Yeah, which is what
we love Jericho for.
Yeah, and which he was even when he was a face, he was a huge dick. It was to the heels, but he was still a bit of a dick. Like true. This whole thing of Stephanie, how she was a slut and how like a picture before and after with the boobs. That was quite funny. Good old Jericho.
Yeah, well, I think that's pretty much all the notable things that happened in WrestleMania.
Oh, it's...
WrestleMania? What am I talking about? I'm all over the place today.
I don't know, man. Did you go back in time? Have you got like a DeLorean or one of those, or the time machine from Doctor Who or something, mate?
A TARDIS.
The TARDIS, that's it. I can remember the name. Or even the or even the Starship Enterprise. That you could go back in time as well.
The Enterprise travels through time?
Yeah, really? It does with the things. Or was I thinking of New Generations where they went back in time?
I have no idea. I know time travel happens, but I don't think the Enterprise comes with time travel as standard.
Could do. You got some, maybe Scotty or someone made it up and be like, yeah, just give time travel.
Scotty's not on Next Generation.
He might have been. I think
no,
he was.
Not.
He wasn't in the TV show, but I think it might have been one of the films when they had
Scotty is not in Next Generation.
No, but he might have been when he was like both together. All right then, or the guy's really smart, like the android bloke.
Data.
That's it. He could have done it. Data could have done it. So he could have been on his computer doing blah, 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 time travel. Zing.
Timetable.
Yeah,
a timetable for time travel. Of course,
yes,
obviously. Totally. What am I thinking? Del Rio and Ziggler had a pole match, which I was just like when Vicky said like there's gonna be a contract suspended on the steel pole. So, are you sure you're not supposed to be saying ladder? But no, literally there was a pole on one of the turnbuckles, and it's just like, what? Where did this come from? And then the whole match was rendered moot anyway because by the way, both of you are gonna get a match because it's triple threat now because fuck you.
Yeah. Another thing interesting, everyone Raw will probably win it anyway, is John Cena going to the Money in Bank, which is like, oh my god, why?
The worst thing though is if you've seen the lineup for the SmackDown Money in the Bank match, it ain't great. Off the bat though, we've got Christian, who's good.
Mm-hmm.
Christian works well in Money in the Bank match. Seen him before. Tyson Kidd.
Tyson Kidd
definitely going to work.
Very underrated.
Then we have oh god, I forgot his name. Do you watch SmackDown?
Not that much, but I do here and there.
Well, he's the posh guy who wears pink shorts and generally complains about how all these wrestlers are beneath him and wrestling's pointless. Yeah, wrestles anyway.
Is he the Indian one?
No, different guy. I can't remember his name.
Is that Trent Beretta or Dean Ambrose or something like that?
Dean, I think his name begins with D, but who else?
Is it the one that had that Twitter war with Mick Foley? Like Dean Ambrose or someone weird like that?
Maybe. I can't remember him. But yeah, the worst one though that they've announced is Tensai. Yeah, I don't see Tensai in a ladder match though. This is a Money in the Bank match, a match all about
Kane
like
and Big Show and John Cena are in the ladder match, and they're not really known.
Agreed, and those are bad things. Because a ladder match, you don't have a big guy in. You have lots of like medium to small guys who can do really cool acrobatic stuff. Having big guys in it is just bleh.
True.
Bleh.
I just hope they could put Cody Rhodes away Barrett in it and let them win it and become world champions. They deserve it.
That would be ideal, really. But,
or even Tyson Kidd, I think, deserves a run. Because he's so underrated.
Tyson Kidd is not going to win. He is never going to win.
He might surprise you. I mean, people last year didn't think Daniel Bryan was going to win it, and he did.
Kidd might surprise me. But the WWE won't. They really won't, let's be honest.
That's true.
Alright then, so I think that's pretty much it for Raw.
Indeed it is.
So, I guess on to games. So, I've been playing a couple of games recently. Well, I finished 2 games. One of them old, one of them new, as you do. So, the first one I've been playing is an oldie but a goodie, Psychonauts, made by the very famous Tim Schafer. Well, I say very famous in the gaming world. And that game is, I was not expecting that game. That game is really, really, really good.
I'm surprised you weren't expecting it, because from a lot of reviews I've seen
but
of it.
You know, you hear all this hype and you're just like, it's not going to be that good. I mean, it'll probably be good. It's Tim Schafer. I've played some of his other games, but it's nowhere near going to be as good as all these people say. But no, it is really that good. I have never played a platformer that good, and I've played a lot of platforms, especially from that era. And everything about it, the graphics are really good. They still hold up.
Mm-hmm.
The level design is stunning. Like, so inventive and
when
so
was it
much
made,
variety.
Then? What year was it made? Was it like early 2000s, wasn't it?
It's an original Xbox game, so it would be around early 2000s, yeah. But just the characters are amazing. The story is really, really good.
What's the gameplay like? Does the gameplay hold up?
It's a really tight platformer. I mean, really tight, and
as good as Mario, Banjo, that sort of thing.
I'd say better. And it's just like all of the like little mini games that come up, and all the levels are different enough that you get a decent variety. It never gets stale. It's really, really good. Just buy that game on Steam or anywhere and just play it, because it is the best game I've played in a long, long time. And going from Psychonauts, I go on to a game that is completely psychotic. Lollipop Chainsaw, which is the latest from the mad inventor of video games from Japan, Suda51. And that game is balmy as hell. It follows the adventures of Juliet, who is a cheerleader and moonlights as a zombie hunter, and goes around killing zombies with a giant bedazzled chainsaw and cutting zombies open, and blood and rainbows and kitten faces pouring out of their severed limbs and decapitated heads. And it's a really fun game. It's a really fun, stupid game with likeable characters, admittedly. It's like incredibly foul game. Like, it's an 18 for a reason. Just because it's got lollipop and has rainbows and pink all over the cover does not mean this is going to be a game for a small girl. If you give this game to a 12-year-old girl, you'll be messing that 12-year-old girl up for life. But yeah, it's a really fun game. The only complaint I could level at it was it's really quite short. It's like only 6 hours long. I managed to blitz through that game. But it's very much a game that rewards playing through several times, and it's not going to get old. I mean, I'm going to probably play it again shortly.
It kind of seems like one of those games where in the olden days, a game used to be like 6-7 hours, but you just replay it all the time to get higher scores and that sort of thing, like they used to be in the olden games, which is something that's kind of missed nowadays. Is that sort of like quite short game, but then just replaying it to get a better score and everything else.
I mean, there are multiple endings. Like, you can get like a good ending and like a bad ending depending on your score throughout levels. Like, I got the bad ending first time because I was terrible. Like the early levels, I was still working things out and I was doing really badly. But yeah, that is definitely a game I'd recommend. But if you want to buy it, my advice is don't buy it just yet. Because the thing about Suda51's games is they always drop in value really quickly. Because the hardcore fans like myself will buy it in the first week, and then eventually after they play to death with it, they'll probably trade it in. So in a couple of months, that game will probably be £15 easily.
Yeah, because Suda51 games are quite known for being quite niche. Same with like how did they do No More Heroes? Was that the same company?
No More Heroes, Shadow of the Damned.
Killer 7. What game did they do?
Killer 7, yeah. That is such a messed up game. Yeah, if you think Lollipop Chainsaw is messed up, play Killer 7. That game is messed up. A good example of how messed up that game is: the first enemy. You go into this car park, and then there's this weird amorphous like blob hanging from the ceiling of the car park, and it's all like swirling purple, black, and green on the colours and the texture, and it spits out from like an orifice it has at the bottom of it humans who then land on the floor of the car park and then roll towards you in the fetal position and then explode when they touch you. That is the first enemy in the game.
What was Japan?
That's your Goomba. That's your initial like sheep that you meet in the Spyro. That is your first impression of how this combat's going to work, and it's scary as hell. Because it's just like, wait, so do I shoot this, and why is it shooting humans at me, and why are they exploding? So yeah.
As I already said, it's Japan, so yeah, Japan are known for their rather strange
even in Japan,
games.
Suda is known to be mental. So when you're mental for Japanese standards, you're dealing with a madman.
There's an old shmup for the Dreamcast that Peanut Butter Gamer did a review on, and I've seen before, where you can play as like this random like man on top of a paper airplane. You get more and more, and you fight these really random enemies, and like you fight these clowns and these like naked ladies in bars, this naked woman, this random like squid thing, these lips. It's just like only in Japan would they do that. It's hilarious. That's why we love Japan. They're known for their rather crazy ideas, but we love them for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's always fun to play something that you completely don't understand sometimes.
Yes. And with Mario as well, even that's a bit loopy. You've got a man eating mushrooms and getting bigger, so jumping on turtles and things. So
although that's now considered normal in the game. Mario's humdrum. Let's be honest.
Indeed.
Old news. Right. So I guess we go into one of our irregular top 10 sort of segments, shall we?
Indeed.
So as usual, it's Mark does 5, I do 5, and these are in no particular order this time. And it's top 10 comedy shows, I believe.
But the thing with the top 10 that we both choose is some of ours, like we got at least one of them is the same one, so
Yeah. I mean, they're both like our personal 5.
Yeah.
Alright, so do you want to go first?
You might as well go first, Ben.
Okie doke. Well, start off with...
Actually, sorry, that's 2 of ours are the same, not one.
Oh, yeah, well, we can both talk about this one, Red Dwarf.
Classic show.
I mean, the thing that really surprised me about that, I was about to say game then, what? I'm in game mode, clearly. Show is just, I absolutely adore all the characters.
The characters are awesome. Like, Rimmer is like one of the finest characters in the whole show. I love the Rimmer song. If you're in trouble, he will save the day. He's brave and he's fearless, come what may. Without him, the mission would go astray. He's Arnold Rimmer. Without him, life would be much grimmer. He's handsome, slim, and no one's him. You never need a Zimmer. He's Arnold Rimmer. I remember the song. You should see Ben's face. He's just like...
I don't really know what to say. Yeah. That's... Yeah, okay. I think you could take the second one, Mark. I'll just recover.
Red Dwarf, yeah, obviously, is a classic show. It still holds up today. And I just love the fact where it's rather a basic sort of sci-fi, but the comedy in it's just hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, at the core, it's just a sitcom about, 2 guys, basically. And just, they're stuck in this spaceship together. Mm-hmm. And stuff happens. And I like that stuff.
And they have, Kat and Crichton, who I love. I love Crichton. He's one of my favourite characters in the whole TV show. It's hilarious.
I still have a very strong memory of the episode where they go down to Earth. And it's that weird parallel version where everything's going in reverse.
I love that one. That was so funny. That
episode is beautiful.
And the bit when Kat goes to go to the toilet and he goes up and he was like, "What the fuck is
that?" Last final revelation at the end. That
was brilliant.
That's like the peak of toilet humour, in my opinion.
Toilet humour is good humour.
No, it's not. Not all the time.
It can work.
It can work. As I said, for me, that's the pinnacle of toilet humour. So, what's next on your list?
Probably How I Met Your Mother / Fawlty Towers, really. I like How I Met Your Mother because I just think it's a really funny show. Barney, for example, in the TV show is just hilarious.
So could you not choose between the two?
No, I wasn't really sure.
Is it between those two then? Mm-hmm. No, you can't. Okay, fair enough.
But I didn't want to take off one of the other 3 because I love the other 3 so much. Fawlty Towers, obviously, Fawlty Towers is one of the greatest comedy shows ever. John Cleese is just amazing as the really horrible and snobby Basil Fawlty, who is just brilliant. My favourite episode of Fawlty Towers, if you've seen it before, is the one with the old woman, where it's like, where's the sea? It's over there, man. Between the land and the sky. It's just stuff like that as well. It's just brilliant. I just love John Cleese and him with Connie Booth. That's it. Connie Booth just created one of the best series of all time, and I honestly think it's probably one of John Cleese's greatest TV shows he ever did.
Well, I really like it. Personally, I'd prefer it over How I Met Your Mother. But
that's true.
I'm not a huge fan of American sitcoms as is, so yeah. Well, my second choice, a bit more of an obscure one. I'm sure someone out there will know it. The Mighty Boosh. Not sure if you've heard much of it or have seen it.
I've seen bits of it here and there. The guy who was in it is one of the
Noel
co-hosts. That's it. Noel Fielding is one of the co-hosts in
Never Mind the Buzzcocks.
That's it.
Yeah. No, it's I mean, the first season, it's basically about a story of these two zookeepers and just their weird, surreal adventures that they go on. And it's very much a sitcom about these two characters, Howard Moon and oh god, I've forgotten Noel Fielding's character because he's just known as Noel Fielding in my mind.
Mm.
But yeah, and the characters they come up with, it's just like the characters are pretty much played by like one or four people. Like often they're played by Noel, and they're really inventive and just like really weird, surrealistic humor and lots of like funny, quirky songs. Like, oh god, I can't. I'm not going to sing that. That's just going to be embarrassing for myself.
That's right. I'm going to sing again in a minute. Don't worry.
I will look forward to that with bated breath. But yeah, I mean, it's a show that it's influenced me quite a lot. Actually, I really like the art style. I mean, a lot of the art's drawn by Noel Fielding himself. And yeah, it's very good series. I recommend watching a couple of episodes.
The next show that is the one that me and Ben both love, Blackadder. Honestly, I'm most people who prefer Blackadder from number 2 to goes forth. I'm not really much a fan of Blackadder 1. It's just that I like the way that they turned Blackadder from this sort of Mr. Bean sort of character to the snobby, arrogant, just cool sort of person. I just love. Like from series 2 onwards, it's just hilarious.
Yeah, Blackadder 1's a bit weird, isn't it? I mean, there are good moments in it. I mean, Brian Blessed's brilliant in it.
Yeah, Brian Blessed is awesome. Edna!
But yeah, I mean, I definitely do prefer like 2 through 4. I mean, personally, like 4th is my favourite.
I love 4th. My favourite episode ever has to be with Lord Flashheart. I love that one.
Woof!
Woof! Or how do you treat women? What do you mean? So you mean take her to bed, haven't seen your mother? No, I mean take her 5 times a day, take her to heaven and back. Or one of those lines. I love the one where he goes, "Hey girls, look at my machinery. Why do I have no underwear, Lord Flash? Because I haven't been a pay. I can take the job on." Just stuff like that. Just love Rick Mail. One of the greatest comedians ever.
It's just a brilliant series and all, and a classic, I'm sure. Have you seen the film, like the short films they did, like the Christmas specials they did?
Oh, I love the
Blackadder in Time, and
that was funny. And they have where like Baldrick's the main guy, and he's just like brilliant stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I love Rowan Atkinson in pretty much everything he does.
I prefer him more in that than Mr. Bean. I just like his characters more in Blackadder.
I do prefer his like more like sarky side, but I absolutely admire the way he can just portray so much emotion and just so much humour just from facial expressions.
Yes, I love his facial expressions, like the bit where Lord Flashlight's kissing Bob, and he's just like, his face is just like, what the fuck are you doing? It's just like, what are you doing? Just like stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like especially apparent in Mr. Bean, where like he hardly talks at all. And it's all in the face and all in the like way he moves. It's just brilliant.
And some of the lines he says as well, just amazing. It's just like, I love the bit where he goes to Baldrick. Baldrick, the pain I'm going to plainly will get from Beelzebub and all the hells will not be as much as this, what you will receive from this small pencil. Just stuff like that, just hilarious. And what's another line I love?
It's a very quotable series. I mean, that's one
very
of the best things about it.
Oh, brilliant. Or he goes to Baldrick, your brain, if a kettle would have enough to put onto a crispy biscuit, stuff like that. It's just brilliant. I've got the book at home where it has all like the lines and just like brilliant. Oh man, that's want to make me want to watch it again now. I just love that series so much. And I love another character I love in that show, Queenie. Queenie's hilarious. And Melchett.
Well, Stephen Fry will.
Yeah, Stephen Fry is awesome. And Darling. All right, Darling? It's just stuff like that as well. It's just hilarious. Apparently, his name was supposed to be like Harding or something, but they've changed it to Darling because, as it does, it brings a joke every single time. And I love George as well. Like, brilliant.
Again, it's another great cast of characters.
Yes.
Well,
the fact how each series is so different because it's set in each of the different like historical periods, and it's so it doesn't always seem the same because you can watch one series, watch another one, and it's so different because the jokes be quite different compared to something else. And
yeah, I mean, it's
poem, boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom.
Yes, quite enough.
Boom.
But yeah, I
didn't sing my song.
Tough. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like how I would like Assassin's Creed to be, you know, in a way. It's just like, instead of, because Assassin's Creed got bogged down far too much in the Renaissance. But it's good because it keeps it fresh by going to these different settings and just like putting a new spin.
That'd be awesome. Do like
people's.
And they have like a Blackadder special, like do a DLC with Blackadder.
Are you saying
have like Blackadder and Baldric and stuff in it? That'd be hilarious. That'd be awesome.
I don't think Blackadder and Baldric would have much back and forth with an assassin.
They could do, I suppose. Maybe you could work for Blackadder, and he does the quips for you, or maybe he can be like a Baldric. So I don't know.
Yeah, but Desmond's descendants are usually boring and bland as people anyway. We're far more interested in what they do than who they are. Anyway, so my next one would have to be Monty Python's Flying Circus.
Oh, great show, Monty Python Flying Circus. Spam, 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 spam. Wonderful spam, spam, spam.
You're in a very sing-song mood today, aren't you?
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, it's just classic Monty Python humour, and who doesn't love Monty Python humour?
Not at all.
And it's you know, because of Flying Circus, we have some of the most memorable and widely regarded best sketches ever.
Like the
parrot sketch, which is, I'm pretty sure, the best sketch ever made. I'm sure it's widely regarded as that.
And who expects a Spanish Inquisition? Oh no, no one expects a Spanish Inquisition. I love that bit.
It is just so many. And one of my favourite sketches of all time from that is the self-defense class.
Oh yeah, I love that.
It's brilliant.
We'll put down a 1-ton boulder. Get you down. A lion.
Now then, how do we defeat an opponent who is coming at you with a banana? I don't know. Why didn't you try a pointed stick? No, we release the Bengal tiger.
And I also love the bit as well with the fish. He just like slapped in the face and then it's just sort of massive fish, bang, falls into the pond. It's brilliant. I love that show. Brilliant stuff. And then because of that, we ended up getting Holy Grail,
Life of Brian, The Meaning of Life.
Something else I love, the Lumberjack song. I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I sleep all night and I work all day.
Is this a musical episode of our podcast?
It is, yeah.
Have we gotten to that series in our point of our series already? Because surely we're supposed to have about 100 episodes before we do the whole episode and song.
We should do that next episode. Do it all in opera.
No, we are not.
We're not going to do an opera.
No, we are not.
Maybe a 5-episode special. Opera mode, just for a laugh.
We are not doing an opera special.
No,
nope.
Never mind.
It would cost you a lot of money to get me to sing.
Would it? How much?
I'm not naming the price. So what's your fourth choice then?
My next comedy is one that's quite obscure. It's because with the other show is the one afterwards, because you've got the Young Ones, and then you've got Fish and Catflap, which is a show which was written by Ben Elton, and it's got Nigel Planner, who was Neil from the Young Ones, Rick Mail, obviously people know, Ade Evanson, and it's one of the greatest comedies ever made. The only problem with Fish and Catflap, if people watch it now, it's very, even though it's one of my favourite comedy shows, it's very much of its time, where if you don't really get some reference, where they talk about a lot to do with Margaret Thatcher, a lot to do with like things of time like Tarby and that sort of thing, people don't really get it. But if you know that sort of stuff and that sort of comedy, it's one of the funniest shows ever.
Yeah, I can't say I've actually seen it or heard of it actually up until this point. So.
And because of that, that's the word ooh. It's just like every time anyone makes an innuendo, it goes ooh.
Oh, is that where that came from?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh,
one of my all-time favourite lines is they're playing Triv or Trivial Pursuit, and Eddie goes to look the other way, and Richie's trying to read through his cards, and Eddie goes, well, Richie, you know what I see in this mirror? I see a man who's reading my cards, and blah blah blah. And this is Thatcher's Britain or something like that. I can't remember the whole line, but it's just stuff like that. It's just hilarious, and talk about Tarby and. We're in this big trouble, it's the biggest laugh Tarby ever got, and just stuff like that. And it's just like, it's just brilliant how, it's just a hilarious show. There's another line I just love, but I can't remember the line. I'll probably remember it in a minute.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it's very period, because half of those words you're saying go just going straight in my head. Tarby? Like, what? It's Tarby a name?
Yeah, Johnny Tarbuck or Jimmy Tarbuck is one of the famous most comedians, and they have like they're on like different TV shows, and there's one where he's getting blackmailed by the Nolan sisters. I'm being blackmailed by the Knowles and the Nolans and just stuff like that, and just one of the funniest shows ever.
Cool. Well, my final choice is probably one of the most underrated shows I know, is Muppets Tonight, which is the mid-90s. They tried to revive the Muppets, and it never really took off, which still irks me to this day, because they only did the 3 seasons, but those short 3 seasons were beautiful. I mean, the basic episode of it was it's basically like, what if the Muppets did Saturday Night Live?
That's
kind
cool.
of thing. And it's, it's classic Muppets humour. And they always brought in like a guest host, and they had some brilliant guests. Like the Pierce Brosnan episode is brilliant. Just the way the whole running gag of the show is just like, no, I'm not actually James Bond. I'm just an actor who plays James Bond in the films. And all of the Muppets are just going around thinking, oh, Mr. Bond, could you help me with this problem? Or, oh, Mr. Bond, I've invented this new weapon for you. It's a catapult which shoots clocks. It's just, and the finale song is just brilliant. It's just like this parody of the theme song.
That's so cool, man.
There's so many good episodes. I mean, the annoying thing is I've yet to find it on like DVD or Blu-ray. Oh, if it came out in Blu-ray, I'd buy that in a heartbeat. But all of the episodes are on YouTube. You just search like Muppets Tonight. There's 3 seasons and they're brilliant. Like, it's all gold. It's completely untapped Muppets resources that people are just leaving in the internet for not. It's a
That's crazy,
crime.
man.
It's an absolute crime that people don't know about it.
Mad, very very mad.
So yeah, what's your final choice? Just it's Muppets. If you like Muppets, go watch it because it's more Muppets.
Cool. My third show would be Bottom, which is my all-time favourite comedy show. I just love that show. It's got Adam and Rick Mail together again, written by them. One of the funniest shows. Probably the show I mostly quote probably all the time. It just has some amazing quotes, like they're just.
I'm not going to be able to help you. I've not heard of the show.
So annoying. I remember having it in my head. Or when they go, nope, can't remember.
So what's the setting then?
Basically, you got these two people. You got these two like characters who live in a flat together, and they're like slobs. People don't like them, and they always try to get off with women, and they always get drunk as well. Like there's one bit where they go to this like shop and like getting like pheromone on with them, and they're like trying to get with the woman, and then they go, "We're mad, we're crazy, ooh," and it's just like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And then it's just so funny.
So is it what time was this made then? Is this recent?
Early 90s.
Oh, okay.
And then you've got like one of the funniest episodes is the Christmas special when they goes, "Gold, Frankenstein, and Gurr, the virgin birth. Oh look, a blue headscarf. It's for the place. I knew I was special. That's why I'm different from other people. That's why I never got a shag. Because I'm being kept pure, because I'm better than everyone else in the whole world." Just stuff like that. They're taking a piss where they like find a baby like outside the door, and then Richie's, because he's a virgin, he thinks he's the Virgin Mary. It's like, this is the Son of God, and just like stuff like that. You have dinner with my husband, like it's just stuff like that as well. On the Halloween special, where they have you got any more exploding carrots? So they end up eating this sprouts mixed with cane, and they end up like eating it. They end up like not being knocked out. Their farts start like being like fire, and just stuff like that as well. And you got another episode I love when on top of the Ferris wheel, where it goes, one of the best lines of that episode is like, "I like stop margarine because I've only got one leg," and the other line is, "I like stop margarine because I've been close to 5 and mum's the word," and just stuff like that as well, which is so funny. And the burglary episode. That's a fantastic episode as well. Some of the episodes are just hilarious.
So is it called Bottom?
Yeah.
Oh, what's it? Bottom. Why is it called Bottom? Just because it's
because originally they don't call it Your Bottom, but they don't end up calling it just Bottom just because it's just a funny name and not really sure. Actually, when we go back, I have to show you an episode of it. Well, there's probably going to be a clip on YouTube I have to show you. And they've done like 5 different lives as well. The lives are hilarious. The thing with the live, because it's quite a violent show as well, they hit each other. There's this one fantastic bit where they're like, their TV's gone, they're like playing chess. Then right at the end, you just see them fighting, and then right at the end, Eddie like puts Richie's head in the fridge. He's like closing the door on Richie's head, and he goes, "You know what? TV encourages violence, and the funny thing is we don't have one. And then Richie comes up, we actually did. And then Eddie smashes the TV over Richie's head. It's just brilliant like that. And there's some of the fun, and it's even though it's full of toilet humour, it's rather clever toilet humour as well. And it's just like one of the funniest TV shows ever. Like if you like smart toilet humour, if you like a bit of slapstick violence, then you'll probably love it. And the lives are good. The lives are hilarious as well, but they're a lot more violent, a lot more ruder. Like they say like fuck and shit and bollocks and cunts and that sort of thing. But unlike the other one, they still swear, but not as much.
There's the rating for the podcast gone.
Indeed.
Right, well.
But it is awesome though. If you get a chance, watch Bottom.
Right, wow. That's our top 10, well, sort of top 8 really, I guess. But yeah, I think that's
top 10.
Yeah, I think that's going to do it for this episode of Geekamania. So thank you very much for listening, guys.
I'm Mark, he's Ben, and thank you.
Yeah, see you next time.